Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, another game, another you, another me. Today we are on our Gaia hype train in the bottom of the map, playing as Gaia, showing us exactly how it's done. It is Zoekt. As he walks over here and he drops down his dock, his opponent today in the top of the map, playing as the red Kronos. Here to play his strongest god. It is Mr. Husksuppe himself. We are on the map Midgard. Nice map for both of these gods. I'm a bit surprised to see Suppe dropping the dock, but maybe he's feeling that he can't get a huge amount of damage done onto a Gaia early on. Gaia's got the Caladria. The thing here, I think, though, is that Zoekt really does need to know what's going on very, very quickly. And I'd be interested to see him, like... I'd be interested if he goes for a really big fish boom here or not. One idea for Suppe is to build a handful of fishing ships and go for a 330 or something like that, or a 4-minute advance and rush. Another option is to do a 330 advance and drop the dock down after you build your temple. And that way you can get fish coming out and you can put the pressure on through like Leto or something like that, going automatons in to attack, cause some problems. But yeah, I'm really interested in how Zoekt plays this, because I think he's got arguably one of the best guys in the game, and he has some really, really cool ideas with how to play around some tricky situations. So we'll see what's going to happen. The big boost here, or threat, I guess, for Kronos against Gaia is where the gold mine is positioned and where the Gaia forests get positioned. So if he can completely defend this forward position with Gaia forests, which, well, you can spam them out you can get one out every 2 minutes. So by 4 minutes, you could have 3 Gaia forests around this front position here, no problems. Then it's quite difficult to get a whole lot of stuff done. But nonetheless, let's check out some relics over here. We do have the Dwarven Calipers. This is going to be food, wood, gold, favor cost there. Over onto this side, we have the Tail of Cerberus, which is going to be the myth unit special attack recharge time. And over onto the right-hand corner, there is the Demeter's Throne, making the Granary much cheaper, as well as the Anvil of Hephaestus. As we're seeing Suppe just go for a stock standard boom. One really cool thing with Kronos is that you can time shift the docks. And what Suppe's done here, which I love, is he's dropped a mana near the water, which allows him to get the dock up much quicker. And then he's just going to time shift that over to where the fish is really nice. So he's going to have himself a fantastic time there. On the flip side here, Zoekt, he gets his temple almost ready to go up. He's only gone... What? No, he's got 2 docks. He's got 2 docks. He's got 1 villager hiding up onto the top side. I'm still a little surprised that Suppe's played this way. He did scout this, so no like adaptation to get to that next stage super fast. But yeah, 1 more villager. It's going to be a 5-minute advance time for Suppe at the very fastest. And I imagine the same thing over here for Zoekt. And following all this up, realistically, the only advantage that the Kronos has in this specific situation is going to be valid citizen with the hero economy. So there's going to be an economic advantage on the side of the Kronos, but there's also going to be that economic advantage from Caladria and the cheaper upgrades, economic upgrades for the Gaia to match. So basically, I think what Suppe is saying here is, I'm just going to outplay you. And we'll see if that's going to be something that he's going to manage in this one, as the docks are just starting to go all over the place. There's some interesting ideas with like time shifting docks and then building a fishing ship into the dock right next to your opponents so that you can sort of fight underneath their docks without worrying that you're down a ship or something like that. Another crazy idea could be to actually time shift in watchtowers onto the waterfront right next to wherever they're fighting, and that way you can get those towers to get involved, especially up onto one of these sort of small areas. Very tough to get past. The boats have to sort of row up to off the... The flat earth, ladies and gentlemen. There's something past that edge there. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend to know what it is, but there's something there. as Zoekt, he's going to be getting himself out that Oceanus. He's getting himself pickaxe. And we've got ourselves the purse scene over here. Zoekt going to get just a little bit of pressure over onto this side. More fishing ships coming down. Docks coming through. And we will start to see a little bit of water combat here. Generally, we don't see a whole lot of this. It's all about reacting to what your opponent does. You lose a lot of HP trying to be the aggressor on water maps. There's also the servant here, which can help out in a big way as the fire ship comes through, and that's going to be no attention being paid there from our main man Zoekt, as some hero citizens actually getting converted in onto this front side. A relic's also getting grabbed. So that's the Tail of Cerberus there, which does help boost up the Colladria quite a bit. Random citizen over on this side. Very, very dangerous place to be there, but just going to turn that into a citizen, and a hero citizen. It should be completely fine. Takes a long time to pay those off, though. Very interesting decisions from the side of Zoekt here, as he decides to charge forward. Siege Breams going after the Bream on the back there as the fire ship coming in. We do see the Carnivora onto the back here, and that's going to start getting damage done onto all of these boats. Doesn't get any sort of one-hit kill shenanigans, but we'll be able to take out a boat, and the other two fire ships are going to be pulling back up onto the top side. These other fishing ship and the rest of those boats are going to be pulling back as these Prometheans still hanging out over onto this side. Soup on the other side, he's got a ton of food in the bank here. He doesn't have his economic guild down just yet. He's going for an armor. He wants that next age in. We'll see what he's going to be able to pull off. I guess you get, there's probably an idea of going in for a whole bunch of, what are they called? Nereids, right? Nereids? If you go in for a whole bunch of Nereids here and you micro it, you can take out a fleet of ships very, very quickly. 65 favor already in the bank here for Soup. It's not a terrible idea. And you've also got the Rhea to trader it away as well. But after all is said and done, Zoekt does actually hit the heroic age first, and he can do exactly the same thing back to Soup. And Zoekt is pushing in nicely up onto the right side. Oh, Hero Citizen getting involved. Gets his Shanker out. I don't know if that Doc's actually going to stay alive here. The Citizen is not doing that much damage. I'm pretty sure the Prometheans can actually win this fight. Oop, a little bit of that repairing action coming up here, keeping that Doc alive ever so slightly. As where to next? The big thing to be concerned about on a map like Midgard is how much you fight on the water. Because if you invest too much on the water, then your opponent can just say, okay, I'm going to mass out an army with all these resources. I'm just going to sit on your gold mines. And you're going to have to take fights on the land that you don't want to take, which means some value back into your opponent's back pocket, and they can have a good game there. Did you see Zoekt actually building a second behemoth here? As all the upgrades coming through for Soup now as well. And his Rhea will pop. So many resources in the bank. Very, very intrigued as to what he's actually going to try and go for next. Looks like it's just going to be Orichalcum Male and a whole bunch of medium Murmillos. Unfortunately for Soup, if Zoekt just does exactly the same thing, he's going to have Bite of the Shark on top of his Murmillos as well as Colladria. So he's going to have the stronger Murmillos. But Zoekt isn't going for those at the moment. He's just building out a nice amalgamation of units. Arcus, Contarius, of which Pure Murmillo should do okay against up until the Arcus mass does come through and a nice front line is formed for them. Zoekt still trying to put the pressure on over here. Still, both players doing a pretty good job with Min defending as the Nereid comes through. You can see how much damage the Nereid actually does. It's not a huge, crazy amount. She is amazing at killing off myth units, but not so good against killing off the actual ships, but still. Over onto this side now. Villagers moving forward, looking to secure this gold mine. sees the medium Murmillos there, and is there any sort of change away from the Contarius? This is such a strange unit to be building at the moment for Zoekt. It's now heavy Murmillos actually in, and this actually gives Zoekt a lot of information. You see heavy Murmillo, it means your opponent is going hard on Murmillo. If it was just sitting at medium, you don't really know. He could be going a different way. As these Behemoth are getting crazy value here on the front. You can't really run with Behemoth is the only bad thing, is because they don't have that much armor. And the only way they get value is by face tanking, basically, because at the front they've got a reduction a reduction against the damage that comes in onto them. But for the moment now, Caladria mixed in with the Behemoth is always going to be a nice idea. Even some more Caladria would not go astray here as well, but nonetheless, Hero Contarius getting pulled back as the Caladria going to be getting used to heal those ones back up. There's so much value keeping your heroes alive with healing. Unfortunately, does drop one of those there as the trader comes down, and it does immediately get stolen back. A couple more Arcus starting to come through as Soup attempting to break past this Arcus ball of units, but no real frontline for the Arcus does make things a little bit tricky. On top of that, no upgrades on them either. They don't have ballistics, they don't have anything, but they do manage to take out those Murmillo there with some good control as another Behemoth goes down. And so far, still harassing on the water. Zoekt is all over the map with his boats, making life very, very difficult for Soup here. And I guess on top of this, does Zoekt have himself channels? He doesn't have channels. If he has that channels upgrade, then he can have 4.2 speed or 4.3 speed Arcus, and that'll help even more with the defense. As medium Arcus comes through. And Zoekt pulling back ever so slightly. If he just needs to have that Behemoth face tanking, I think he wins this fight. But he's pulling all the way back underneath his palace for the time being. One thing you definitely don't want to do with Arcus is face tank. We're also going to be seeing that Horns of Consecration technology coming through for Soup. He might want to be going for some Fanatics here, though. Doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. Realistically, Siege is what he wants, and the perfect unit to build for him is going to be that Destroyer. Though, on the other side now, Murmillo's now starting to come through for Zoekt, and he doesn't yet have that Mail of Orichalcum, but he does have Bite of the Shark. Soup still attempting to defend up onto this position over here. Bareem's coming through, going to snipe out a fire ship. We'll see a palace coming up onto this side as well. Now Zoekt says, time to get busy right now with these Behemoths. But one good fight here from Soup can completely change the trajectory of this game. These Murmillos, with very few upgrades, not feeling like they're actually that useful here, as the Destroyers can zone out the Arcus on the front. We do have the Fanatic to come through, which will be a nice little help against those Destroyers there. As both players losing frontline, the Destroyers going down means Soup can't really push. He does have Deconstruction, though. If he feels like he can win this fight and keep pushing, he should Deconstruct. Of course, Zoekt will try and get himself the Palace back up, but that is an option for him to go for. Meanwhile, 120 favor in the bank here for Soup. I'm not exactly sure what he's saving that one up for. Could be waiting for the Mythic Age to make some Argus, or maybe an extra, maybe completely just save for an extra Implode. Might not be a terrible idea. I know I'm talking a long way into the future, but There's great micro here from Zoekt. He's targeting down that backline beautifully. Fanatics popping in. These guys don't have any bonus versus Arcus, so you do want to have them attacking infantry units if at all possible. Arcus gonna just pull back, sit underneath the palace again. The game's still looking incredibly close. I'm not exactly sure what happens here if all of this gold just expires. I think the problem, the problem for Soup right now is 110% going to be gold. He will run out of this gold mine. He's sending villagers up onto this side to claim this position. He deconstructs the palace, so he needs this gold mine. Might even be worth it to like time shift this palace over here so that he can secure this gold mine. If Soup can't get this position sorted out, then he will be losing this game. As he does make a bit of a dash up to the top side right now. Let's have a little quick look at the fishing ship differential. 23 for Soup, over to 14 for Zoekt, as Soup has managed to get himself a little bit of an advantage on the water, but he needs this position. He doesn't have the gold just yet for a palace. Time shifting the palace over is an option. As the army going to make its way up here. No Gaia Lush on this side is going to be a nice advantage for Soup here as well. But without a palace, these Fnatic are going to go to town on top of Soup's army here. They are going to absolutely erase this. He's got himself his Orichalca Mail, Bite of the Shark. These are super Fanatics here, as he absolutely dominates that army, and Soup is going to get pushed off of this gold mine. He's going to have 0 gold left. I mean, there's 430 gold over here, but that's not going to be much of an assistance. And Zoekt kills off a couple of citizens on the retreat. The town center, 1500 HP to getting up. I don't think this is going to be much of an assistance. We've also got a town center coming up behind this for Zoekt as well, as the destroyers get on top of it, and they will put a stop to that town center expansion. As Zoekt pulls back over here, he's going to drop another palace, secure that top gold mine, and find the win in this game. I don't see what else Soup can do. Maybe time shifting the palace onto the back here as an idea. It does cost half to make that time shift happen. Does also have another deconstruction. He can spam out a whole bunch of behemoths, but then again, if he does that, then Zoekt will very simply get himself all of his heroes into his army, because he's got plenty of favor in the bank now. As the destroyer is charging to take down the town center, the Fanatics will be able to take those out here. I don't think the town center is going to be falling, but the palace in the middle of the map going down. Citizens searching for something, and they're just not going to be able to find that gold mine. Did end up being a 4 large gold mine map, and in these sort of situations, it's a lot of fun if both players get that second gold mine, but if they don't, the game will end at this point. And Zoekt, very, very on top of things in this game. He gets that full map control, and he plays it out beautifully. I think Soup did have an opportunity here to secure this position with a time-shifted palace. I think that was all he had. Maybe a market and selling. He didn't have a market up. Could have sold some resources for some gold to get the palace up as fast as possible. Then he can play defense underneath the palace, and Zoekt didn't really have any destroyers, or not many destroyers, so he might have been able to continue to hold there. Maybe spending some of that food on behemoths for that front line could have been another option. But unfortunately there for Soup, not able to make it work, and Zoekt takes the dub. The Gaia Day is in full swing, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next game.